All right, today we're going to talk about something that is, well, it's completely changing the game for how AI agents actually connect to the real world. We're going to look at this incredible duo, n8n and a new protocol that is seriously shaping up to be the new standard for all AI automation.
But before we get into the weeds, let me just ask you this. Imagine your AI agent, the one you're building or dreaming of building. What if it could just instantly use any tool on the internet? I'm talking no manual coding for each one, no crazy setup. It just works. Just let that idea sit with you for a minute as we dive in.
All right, so to really get why this is such a huge deal, you got to look at how we've been doing things. The old way. Just think about building an AI to do something simple like schedule a meeting. You'd have to manually code an HTTP request for creating the event, then another one for checking calendars, another one for sending the invites. It's this messy, brittle web of connections. Now, look at the new way. With MCP, all of that mess just disappears. It becomes one single, clean tool for your AI agent. That's it. One tool, but it can do everything.
And here's the core of the problem, right? Every single application out there speaks its own language, its own API. So if you wanted your AI agent to talk to, say, Google Calendar, Slack, and GitHub, you basically had to teach it three completely different languages. It had to become a master linguist. And that wall of APIs, as we call it, turned building powerful, versatile AI agents into an absolute nightmare. And this is where the first hero of our story steps in. It's called the Model Context Protocol, or MCP for short. The best way to think about it, it's literally a universal translator for AIs. It's an open standard, which is huge, and it creates one single consistent language that AIs can use to talk to any tool. Suddenly, your AI doesn't need to be a master of a dozen languages. It just needs to know one, MCP. So you're probably wondering, how does this magic actually work? Well, it's actually this beautiful, super simple three-step process. First, an app sets up what's called an MCP server, and it basically just announces, hey, here are the tools I have. Things like create event or search the web. Step 2, your AI agent comes along and just asks it, so what can you do? And the server just hands over a list of all its available tools. And finally, step 3, the AI, knowing what you want to do, just picks the right tool from that list and tells the server, yep, run that one. That's it. It's simple, it's dynamic, and it is just incredibly powerful.
I love this analogy. It's perfect. Think of it just like a universal power adapter for your travels. You don't have to pack a different plug for every single country, right? You just have that one adapter and it works everywhere. That's exactly what MCP is for AI. It's one plug for infinite possibilities. Okay, but here's the thing. A universal translator is great, but it's useless if there's no one or something driving the conversation, right? A protocol is just the rule book. You still need a powerful engine to actually do the work. And that brings us to the second crucial piece of this puzzle.
And that engine is n8n. Now, if you haven't heard of it, n8n is this amazing open source platform for workflow automation. It's basically the perfect workshop for building these next-gen AI agents. It has this visual drag-and-drop editor that makes creating really complex automations, well, kind of fun. But the real key here, the secret sauce, is that you can self-host it. And that means you can install all sorts of community-built modules, including, you guessed it, a node for MCP. And you know what? Getting these two to work together is surprisingly easy. Seriously, you get your n8n instance up and running, you install that MCP community package, and then you just drag an AI agent node into your workflow. The most important part is this. You just add the MCP client as a new tool for that agent. That's how you point it at whatever service you want it to talk to. And here's a real-world example of what that setup looks like. Let's say you want your AI to use Brave Search. You just set up a new credential for it. The command is npx, and you just give it the name of the MCP server package. And that's literally it. Notice what's missing. You're not messing around with API keys. You're not trying to figure out complicated authentication headers in your workflow. All of that complexity is just handled for you, nice and clean, behind the scenes. And just like that, poof, the transformation is complete. Remember that tangled, messy web of API calls we looked at earlier? The one that was a nightmare to maintain? It's gone, replaced by a single, powerful, elegant tool that your AI agent can just pick up and use whenever it needs to. Okay, so we've talked a lot about the how, the nuts and bolts. Now let's get to the really exciting part, the what. What does this actually unlock? What kind of insane things can you build now that were basically impossible before?
I mean, we're talking about building legitimate enterprise-grade AI systems, but visually. Think about it. An intelligent content pipeline that automatically pulls articles from all over the web, has an AI read, analyze, and summarize them, and then pushes those summaries out to your blog, your Slack, your social media. Or what about a proactive customer support bot that's always watching your customer channels, it understands their sentiment, and it can automatically open a support ticket or even ping a salesperson if it senses an opportunity? These massive, complex workflows that cross multiple systems, they're not just possible anymore, they're actually straightforward to build and maintain. And you should know, this isn't just some fringe, experimental idea. Not at all. The MCP ecosystem is absolutely exploding. The number of tools and services that are making themselves available through MCP is just growing like crazy. Why? Because it solves a huge, fundamental problem that every AI developer has been facing. The standard is picking up steam fast, and the community is just running with it. And look, we're talking about the big players here. The tools you're probably using right now. Google Calendar, GitHub, Docker, Slack, HubSpot, Jira, AWS, the list just keeps growing. Every single one of these powerful platforms can now become a native tool in your AI's toolkit, something it can just discover and use completely on its own. So what does this all add up to? It means we're moving beyond building simple, one-off connections. This is a genuine paradigm shift. When you combine a super flexible automation engine like n8n with a universal standard like MCP, you're not just connecting to an app or two. You are literally handing your AI the keys to the entire internet. So let's leave it with this thought. For the last couple of decades, APIs have been built for humans. They were designed for a developer to sit down, read the docs, and write code. MCP, this is different. It's the first real standard built from the ground up for AIs to talk to the world. It is a completely new foundation for a new era. So the real question is, what are you going to build with it?